while loop. So in the while loop, the controlling variable is defined previously. Condition is evaluated first, and if it returns true, then the statements in the loop body are executed. So generally, a loop body contains an update value for the variable being processed for the next iteration. If the condition returns false, the control comes out of the loop and jumps to the next statement after the while loop. So let's do some examples with the while loop. Go back to the exercise project, right-click on the loop package, and select New Class. Specify the class name as while loop, and select the checkbox for the main method. Now let's declare a variable, I, with the initial value of 5. So our loop condition is I is greater than 1. So we'll use the print method to display numbers. Now we need to update the variable I. So we'll decrease the value of I by 1. Okay, let's run the code. You see the numbers 5, 4, 3, and 2. So after 4 iterations, I will be 1. Then our condition I is greater than 1 is evaluated to be false, and the while loop terminates, right? Okay, so let's write a program to calculate the factorial of the first 5 numbers. So let's declare 2 variables. First, k, with the initial value of 1, and the second one is fact, with the initial value of 1. And let's start a while loop with the condition k is less than or is equal to 5. And in the loop, we'll assign fact multiply k to the variable fact with multiply and assignment operator. So now we can print the value of k and the fact variable by using the print method. We increase the value of k by 1. Okay, so let's run the code. The factorial of 1 is 1. Factorial of 2 is 2. The factorial of 3 is 6. Factorial of 4 is 24. The factorial of 5 is 120. Okay, so let's write infinite while loop examples. So an infinite loop just means a loop that never ends. So if we start a while loop with the condition true, this is an infinite while loop. For instance, we declare a variable d with the initial value of 100. If we start the while loop with the condition d equals 100, this is an infinite while loop. The do-while loop. The do-while loop is similar to the while loop, with the only difference being that it checks for the condition after executing the statements in the loop body. So there's no checking any condition the first time. After the execution of the statements in the loop body and update of the variable value, the condition is checked to be true or false. So if it is evaluated to be true, the next iteration of the loop starts. If the condition returns false, the loop terminates and then jumps to the next statement after the do-while loop. So the statements in the loop body are executed at least once before the condition controlling, and that is an important point. So do you want to see what I mean? Let's do up some examples with the do-while loop. So in the exercise project, just right-click on the loop package and select New Class, and specify the class name as do-while loop, and select the checkbox for the main method. So let's write up a program that prints int numbers from 1 to 15. First, we'll declare a variable number with the initial value set to 1. Now, let's start the do-while loop with do as our keyword. Now, in loop, we'll use the print method to display numbers. So we'll need to update the variable I. In order to do that, we increase the value of the number by 1. And now we add the loop condition with the while keyword. Our condition is number is less than or equal to 15. So let's run that code. Now you see the numbers from 1 to 15 on the screen. So in the do-while loop, the print process and increment part of the body are executed at least once before the condition. So let's write a program that chooses a fruit from a menu. So we'll need to take the inputs from the user by using a scanner class. Now we'll choose import scanner class in java.util package to import the scanner class. Now let's declare a variable choice with no initial value, and let's start to write the do-while loop. So in a loop, in the first print method, we'll write a title for the program output. Let's call it menu with all uppercase letters. And let's copy the print method and change the code. So the first option of the menu is apple. Second is banana. Third is orange. And the last option is exit. So in the last print method, we give the select and option message to the user. And we'll assign the next int method of the scanner class to variable choice. And now we can use the switch case statement for this part. And it's useful for menu operations like this one. Conditional switch expression is a variable choice. Now, in the first case, we display apple in the print method. And then we can add the break keyword. Now let's copy the code and make the changes for case values and other fruits, banana and orange in our case. So this loop is executed until the choice is not equal to 4. If the user enters 4 from the menu, the loop is terminated. So we add a while keyword with a choice not equal to 4 as a condition. So let's run the code. And then you see the menu in the console, right? So let's enter 1, and there's an apple. Enter 2, banana is displayed. Enter 3, an orange is displayed. Enter 4, no answer because the loop is terminated, right? Branching statements. Branching statements are used to change the normal flow of execution in some conditions. So Java provides 3 branching statements: break, continue, and return. Break, we've used it before. It's used to terminate loops or switch statements. Control of the program moves to the next statement following the loop. Continue is used to continue the loop. When the continue statement is executed, control of the program jumps to the end of the loop, and the loop condition is evaluated. So that leaves us with return, and that's used to exit from the current method, and the control flow returns to where the method was invoked. All right, so let's do some examples with branching statements. We're going to start with a break statement. So in the exercise project, just right-click on the source folder and select New Class. Specify the package name as branching and the class name as break statement, and select the checkbox for the main method. Okay, so first, we'll use a break statement in a switch case statement. Let's declare a variable a with the initial value set to 0. Conditional switch expression is variable a. We have 2 case values. First one is 0. And if the value of the variable is 0, then we will print hi to console, and we'll add the break statement. So let's copy the code and change the case value. And if the value is 1, then we will print hello to console, and we'll use the break statement again. So let's run the code, and you see hi as a message in the console. So let's change the value of the variable with a 1, and let's run the code. Now you see hello as the message in the console. So let's change the value of the variable with a 0. Now, if we don't use a break keyword in the first case, what will happen? So let's remove the break keyword from the code. And now let's run the code. You see the hi message and the hello message in the console. So all the cases will be executed until it sees the break keyword. That's why it's recommended to put a break after each case. So now let's use the break statement in the standard for loop. So in the for loop, we declare a variable of I with the initial value 0. Our condition is I is less than 10, and it increments by 1. So if I equals 7, we'll use a break statement to terminate the loop. And we'll use the print method to write the numbers to the screen. So now let's run the code. And you see the numbers from 0 to 6. So in this code, when the value of the variable I becomes 7, if the condition is evaluated to be true, then the break statement terminates the loop. Okay, so let's now use the break statement anywhere. Let's see what happens. So let's declare the variable number with an initial value being 100. So if the number equals 100, we will try to use the break statement. But look at that, we get an error because break cannot be used outside of a loop or a switch. Remember that.